Hello, Challenge fans. How you guys doing today? Here, let you know what happened on last night's episode of Challenge Season 41. Frets and Veterans, Week 13. Everybody's back at the condo. Everybody's talking. There's 10 teams left, 20 people. They started with 34 people. He said they're getting down to crunch time. We don't know when the finale is. We don't know how many more teams have to be eliminated before there's a finale. And then everybody goes off in separate rooms of the condo. Theo, Adia, Olivia, Jake, Leroy, and his partner, who's all members of the UK Alliance, are talking. And they ask Adia, look, you're also got an alliance on the side with Tobo, Sydney, Derek D. Instead of trying to get the Nania's alliance to get more house votes taken out the UK Alliance, till there's none of us left, try to swerve them to vote for us to vote off Narnia's 6-person alliance, which is Narnia, Justin, Aviv, Nehemiah, Ashley, and Leo. And Olivia's like, well, Will always told me that even though I'm his partner, but he's not a member of the UK Alliance, he won't vote me in elimination, but he also will never vote for Narnia because he's sleeping with her off and on. So Olivia says that's kind of like a 50-50 thing there. She said, I wish I could get him to go on our side, but all well. So Adia said, oh, I'll go talk to Tobo, Sydney, Derek, and Dean, try to convince them to join our alliance, get rid of the other 6 people first. So she goes talks to him. And come find out, Tobo and Sydney is also a part of Narnia's alliance. He's playing both sides. That's dirty Tobo for you. He always does this. He says, I'll be your member on your team, your alliance, and he also is a part of the other alliance. And then at the end, from previous seasons, he'll screw one over to go with the other one that benefit him that most, get him closer to the finale. So, Adia finds this out. Derek and Dee says, look, we're on board with it. We'll help you take out Narnia's alliance. And she goes, leaves. And Derek says, I feel bad for lying to her, but they always came up to us without them knowing, and we realized, like, it really don't matter if we vote against Narnia's alliance of 6 people. It's just going to go back and forth between UK Alliance, one of theirs. And he says, honestly, I've been in 20 of these seasons. He said, I've gone into 20 eliminations. I've won 13 out of the 20. I've won 6 of these challenges. He said, and throughout the years, I've worked with people like Narnia, Aviv, Tobo, and all of them. He says, Olivia, Theo, and then he said, I've never worked with them before. This is like my first time. He said, besides like last year, he's corrected himself. Then he says, the second time I've worked with those people. So of course I'm gonna go with the ones I've known for more years down the road. So Adia overhears this. So she goes back to the UK Alliance and they realize, okay, Narnia's got her nails dug into those 4 people. So there's no only thing we can do is just win a challenge, send one of them into elimination against a member of their team somehow, or make sure at least one of the 6-person alliance on Narnia's side is last place, which means they automatically go in elimination. Then Theo brings up something. He says, what if we screw the whole game plan up? And she says, what do you mean? He says, what if we do the stake your claim? And Olivia says, you see how well that went last week when we tried to get Gabe to go and screw over Narnia by taking her partner Justin? And Theo said, exactly. He said, but Gabe was new to this. He said, we're veterans. So Theo said, if we, for instance, stake a claim to Aviv's partner, or Aviv or Nehemiah, then one of them would be a part of our alliance, and we'd be a part of theirs, and guaranteed they're not going to screw their friend over, because that means they'll go home. So he said, if we break up our UK alliance a little bit, and stake claims to the other people's partners, switch it up, it'd be basically Narnia's alliance, UK alliance combined. And he said that would just create a whole lot of fireworks, a whole lot of suspense and tension. So that's the game plan. That's the game plan now. They're going to stake claims to the other alliance to switch partners up. So both these two alliances is going on, and the house is left between the 10 teams are basically gonna be intermixed. So everybody goes to the challenge, and it's based off the movie The Running Man. I was a big fan of the movie The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day, and other guy, I forget his name. He played on Match Game. He was the bad guy. After all these years, they decided to remake it. Seriously, it has nothing to do like this storyline. It's basically like Fast and Furious, apparently, with cars and stuff like that, and it's gonna be like futuristic or whatever. Anyways, the actor that's in it surprises everybody, and it says whoever wins this challenge will get like 2 free tickets to the premiere of the movie. So the challenge and the team announced is called The Running Man. How it works is there's 10 shipping containers, 200 yards away. And he said, right here are 10 sets of keys. You're going to start 200 yards that direction. When I blow the whistle, you're going to run. Meet with me, which halfway at the halfway point. Take a set of keys. Run the other 100 yards. And unlock the shipping containers inside the car. Drive it out. Back to the other end. Remove the hood. And inside the hood is a tracking device. Find it. The first team to find it wins. Last place goes into elimination. He said, but I'm not going to make it easy for you. And he says, you see what I mean when you get to the shipping containers. And because it's off the distance, right? So he blows the whistle, the teams run, grab the keys. Theo drops his keys while he's running, has to backtrack halfway across the yard, like 50 yards, to find the set of keys he lost in the dirt. Adia was like, come on, man, come on, hurry up. Theo's like, of course, I got to drop the keys. I'm the only one to drop the keys. They get there and everybody's like, what the heck is this? It's like a challenge they used to do, which was called Fortified, where you take a fort and you put chains, rope, wire all around it, and stuff like that to barricade it, and the other team member or single person have to figure out the way to get inside the fort from moving these items. So all these shipping containers, I've got 10 chains padlocked and 10 ropes that are padlocked, all crisscrossing each other in front of the shipping container. It's like a big old knotted up mess. So that's why it's going to take a while. So in the set of keys they have, there's 10 different keys on each set, so they got to figure out which key goes to which padlock, right? And they're not color-coded, which makes it even more difficult. Leroy starts off with his partner, and they're doing great. They get like 6 chains unraveled, unlocked, but then they start having difficulty with the rope and that. Tobo and Sydney are also struggling. Aviv and Jeremiah they figure out the strategy, which is unlock all the ropes first, pull them, out of the knot and stuff, pull them out of the loops. Then that frees up the chains. And if you unlock the chains first, they're still tangled within the ropes, so it makes it more difficult. So they end up getting their shipping container open first and get the car out, and they're driving away. So Will picks up the speed, but then Will decides not to listen to Olivia at all and decides to do his own thing. And Olivia notices that's twice now in 2 weeks that he doesn't work with her, right? Like he became good. She said, is he purposely trying to fold the challenge 2 weeks in a row to send me an elimination? That's why Olivia's faking, because Will and Anya are, hooking up on the show. And then Will off camera swears that's not why. He's got a hard time strategizing with Olivia because they're both on different wavelengths or whatever. That's bullcrap. Honestly, if you watch last week's challenge to this week's, you can see he is purposely throwing the challenge to screw over Olivia. So then Olivia off camera says maybe the stick to claim will help benefit me, but getting rid of this guy, which I thought I could work with, and get someone I know I could work with better. Vanessa and Jake are struggling big time. They can't understand this whole the whole tangled up mess. She's getting frustrated. He's getting frustrated. Aviv and Jeremiah come in first place. They outsmoke the rest of the competition. So they say they basically get to sit and wait with TJ while the other teams are struggling. I don't know how long it goes by, but TJ says maybe I should just call like time limit up. He said I can't. We need one team to be the last team standing to go into elimination. Derek and Dee are struggling. Finally, Tobal and Sydney get their shipping container on Tangled, open up. They get their car over, remove the hood. They come in second place, but Tobal's like, "Where's the tracking device? I hear the beep. Where is it?" And Sydney's like, "It's on. It's magnetic. It's on the hood." So Tobal picks up the hood off the ground. He carries the whole hood with the single device, tracking device, over to TJ's like this. "Shut it off, man. It's too loud." TJ's just laughing because it's like a tracking device has gotten a beeping noise. Apparently, it's too loud for Tobal. I don't like Tobal because of his attitude, but at the same time, he is comical as hell on the seasons. He is comical. I give him credit there. Olivia and Will come in fourth place. I forget who came in third. I apologize. It comes down to the wire. It comes down to Nehemiah. Nanya and Justin, Derek and Dee. Derek and Dee lose. They're in last place. They show up. They're last. Derek's not happy because me and Dee, we won last week's challenge. We came in first place. And we come in last place of this one. He said, "It's crucial." He said, "We'll get out of the crunch time. We cannot afford to be last place." Narnia and Justin, it was close, but their car for some reason won't start, so they had to push it along 200 yards while Derek and Dee started. By the time they got their shipping container on tangled and all that and unlocked, Narnia and Justin found the tracking device under the hood. Ashley and her partner was also struggling. They came in third to last. Vanessa laughed about that, and Ashley's like, "You got something to say? Say it to my face." And Vanessa shut right up. My cheek, I can't stand her. I know she's new. She's a rookie. She's new to it. But her mouth's going to get her in trouble. She called Theo out for cheating. Because apparently Theo found the tracking device and crossed the finish line without his partner. And she called him up and was like, "That's cheating. You got to wait for your partner." And blah, 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 blah. And TJ's like, "Nowhere did I say you have to wait for your partner to also cross the finish line with you. I said the first person to find the tracking device to make it across the finish line for their team wins. And they stay in the game last year, last place." So Olivia gets right in her face. She says, "Look, all this weeks you've been bad mouthing me behind my back and all this. What's your beef with me?" She straight up asks Macho, "What's your beef with me?" And she shuts right up. Olivia's, that's it. You talk a lot, but when someone comes right to you and confronts you, she said you're a wussy. Olivia said, "How many of these have you won?" "Oh, that's right, because you're a newbie." So the only reason why you're still here is because you're kissing Nania's butt. And Nania didn't like that. And Olivia went like this, like basically talk to the hand, face don't want to hear it kind of thing. It's getting intense. I was like, oh man, like, because Nania and Olivia always have beef throughout the season since season 38. This new guy, this new girl, Markichi, it's hard to pronounce the name, Markichi. She is always bad mouthing Olivia, and she thinks she can get away with it. So I loved it. Finally, Olivia had enough. Got right in her face about it. Say, "You know what? Do something about it." She backed away and proved she's all talk but no go. So TJ says, "Okay, so we know that Derek and Dee is going to elimination tonight. The rest of you go back to the condo, the club, have fun, relax, strategize, and decide which team you're going to vote to go into elimination against them." And then he said, "Now, Nehemiah V, since you won, you get to save a team from elimination, but you cannot select that team before someone takes a claim. You have to wait after, because it's not fair to save a team in case somebody wants to steal their partner, switch them, right?" Then he hands them front row tickets to the premiere movie of The Running Man, so they're excited for that. Everybody goes back to the condo, and later on they go to the club. Dee and Derek go over to them and say, "Look, not once these 13 weeks have we called you into we never said your names to go into elimination." They're like, "That's true. Let us pick the team we feel is more comfortable we can beat in elimination." And honestly, that's Theo and Adia. And Aviv and Nehemiah, so that's what we were thinking about. The rest of our alliance, Nania, Justin, Ashley, and Leo. That's who it is. are saying like the same thing. Like, we get the rest of the people, to, like Tobo Sydney, to vote a UK Alliance team in. Now I'll vote the other UK Alliance. And that. And send them in. If you feel comfortable, you can beat Fiona Dia. That's, you will get your wish. And then later on in the condo, Vanessa comes up to Leroy. And Leroy says, look, I've heard that they're going to call you and Jake into elimination. She's like, what? What? And he said, yeah, I've overheard the talk about sending you guys against Derek D. Apparently, Derek D want to face you. I'm like, no, Derek D wants to face Fiona Dia. Leroy's got a plan. Leroy feels more comfortable if Vanessa and Jake don't go in elimination. So I was like, well, that don't make sense, right? Like, they're saying the name. He's got a decor plan. He's going to let Vanessa and Jake worry that the house is voting against them. Then he said, so vote Ashley into elimination with Leo. And she said, okay, and I'll vote for them too. And I promise UK Alliance to vote for them. Send them into elimination and you're safe. And she said, okay, but she said, I just don't understand why they're targeting me all of a sudden. I didn't do nothing against nobody except for Ashley and all that. So that's Leroy's secret plan, is to get the UK Alliance to vote Ashley and Leo in. But he said, in order to do that, I gotta get Sydney and Tobo on board to outvote the rest of the other Alliance. And then he come find out he's lying about that. He actually wants Fiona Dia to go into elimination, but he wants them to feel like they're safe, so they got nothing to worry about. Because he considers Fiona a threat in the final. So he said, if I could take him out tonight by getting them voted in, because Fiona Dia's strategy was, if we're going to go in 2 weeks in a row, you know what? We're going to stick a claim and steal someone's partner. That's the plan, remember? So Leroy tells him, don't worry, it's Vanessa and Jake. They're like, what? Yeah, that's rumor, man. Like, that's, well, I've heard from Nadia's team they're going to send them in. So he said, vote Ashley and Leo, and they'll be safe. So elimination time comes, voting process. Aviv, Nerimar are safe, so they can't go in. Derek D's waiting to see who they're going to go elimination with. And everybody votes Phil. Before they vote, TJ says, anybody like to stick a claim to someone's partner? And it shows Dia and Phil talking like, do we want to do it? Like, it feels like, no, man, no. Leroy said, well, good, they're not going to vote us in this week. It's going to be Vanessa and Jake. And Vanessa and Jake, because they're overhearing this, like, I know, like, what the hell? Like, why is it us, right? And Leroy just said they're smirking, right? He's just played both teams. And the House vote starts, and it's all Phil and Adia. They get voted in right up to the end, except for the members of the UK Alliance who vote for Vanessa and Jake, because that's who they were, Ashley and Leo, because that's who they were told to vote for. So Vanessa and Jake's like, so we were never going to get voted in? And he was like, no. And she's like, oh, you played it dirty. And Phil's like, so you played us. Leroy's like, hey, man, it's the challenge, dude. I said, oh, honestly, I consider you a threat in the finale. So if I can get you gone, one last person to worry about for my share of the money. So TJ even says, you know what? I like that. Like how you strategize, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So going to the elimination. You got Adia going in for the third time. Theo going in the second time against Derek D, who's not been in one yet. Everybody heads to the Viking setup arena, and there's 2 balance beams made out of wood above muddy water. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? TJ said, welcome to Knock It Off. That's the name of the elimination. He said, Phil and Derek's going to be on one balance beam. Adia and D on the other one. He said, here's pillows. And he gives them all pillows. He said, 5 rounds. You got to knock the other team off the beam each round. He said, now. So that's what I said. He said, Phil and Dia, you got to knock Derek and D off the beams each round to get a point. Same thing goes for Derek and D. If you can knock Theo and a D off the beams with the pillows, you get a point. But if one member of each team gets knocked off, it's a draw, no points. So round 1 starts. Theo just hauls off, smacks Derek right across the face with the pillow. Derek just actually flips, falls in the muddy water. He's like, what the hell hit me all of a sudden, right? He's like favoring his jaw. He's like, wow, man. He said, that had hurt. That hurt. Then he cheered on D. D backed up for a pillow, hauled off, smocked Adia right in the face. Adia went right in the muddy water. So round 1, draw. Round 2 starts. Again, Derek, one hit from field, loses his balance on the beam, falls in the muddy water. Derek's like, man, that guy's got some punch. He's got some force coming with that pillow. And again, D smokes Adia, knocks her in the muddy water. So round 2's a draw. It goes that way to round 5. First 4 rounds are a draw. One member of each team can knock off the other team completely. So, round 5, Derek's got a strategy. He's going to go for the legs of Theo. He's, if I can knock those legs out from under him with the pillow, I'll send his ass in the muddy water. And D has been kicking butt. With a D up, we got it. So round 5 starts. Derek swings the legs of Theo. Theo jumps, lands back on the beam, balances himself, hauls off, smacks Derek, who falls in the muddy water. Like, that's some great balance right there for Theo, able to, like, leap up. Because he overheard Derek talk what he was going to do with D, like, tugging his legs. Then land back on the beam and balance yourself. Like, that was tricky. Like, that could have backfired. He could have ended up in the muddy water. And again, D sends Adia in the muddy water. So TJ's okay. Since no team actually won a round, sudden death. I'm going to flip the coin. Heads, it's going to be Theo versus Derek. Tails, it's going to be D versus Adia. The first person to go off that beam loses. They flip it, and the coin lands on heads. So Derek is like, oh, I know I'm going home because I can't beat Theo. I can't. So TJ says, so, to give it, give you a better chance and knock the other person off the beam there, Derek. He said, you have a choice. You can do it by standing up or sitting down. So Derek's like, you know what? I want to do sitting. I want to do stand up. I'm like, okay, TJ said, okay. Okay, that's your wish. So the round starts, and Derek's ready. Feels ready. That feels like, are you going to go for my legs again? Derek's like, I ain't going for your legs again, man. Don't worry. Then he swings his pillow to knock Theo off. Like, take his legs out from under him. But when he swings the pillow, he loses his grip. Like, loses his foot on the beam. It falls in the muddy water. Everybody's like, oh my God. Derek felt so terrible. So Derek and D eliminated. We're now on the 9 teams now. And I was hoping he'd be one of the top 3. I could vote for CT, Derek, and Olivia to win it. CT went home. Derek's gone home. Olivia, stay to the finale goal. You're the only one left that I like to see win it this year. If you're gone next, I'm going to have a look at who's left and pick someone else I like to see win it. But you're the one I really want to see win it now. You're one of the top 3 I picked when this all started. So Derek felt bad because he said, look, D, you kept knocking her off your beam. So it's all on me. And D said, no, man. Stuff happens, right? Your balance wasn't good on the beam and stuff. And Derek's like, I know if I feel bad, no, he said, because I won 13 eliminations out of the 20 I've been in for the years. And I know I could have took him out. But he said he just felt terrible because he sucked and D kept doing the best she could, and she was kicking butt on her beam with Adia, smoking her with his pillow, smacking her in the face. One round, she grabbed Adia's pillow and yanked it off of her, and then double pillow smacked her off the beam. That was hilarious. So D just said, hey, it's not your fault. Stuff happens. He just outperformed you there. He had more balance on the beam than you did. Theo ends the show. I can't say what he says because of some curse words. He gives everybody left up there that's not part of the UK Alliance the old Stone Cold Steve Austin middle finger salute and tells them to beep, 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 beep. And then Tobal gets mad. And Theo said, look, he said, I'm sick of your attitude. I'm sick of your cockiness. And Tobal's like, pardon me? And Theo's like, I'm sick of the man. And he said, actually, I'm kind of confused, TJ. And TJ said, well, what's that? He said, now, don't worry, TJ. You don't have to call security to get between us. I'm just saying. Tobal, when you first came here, what did you say? Tobal said, I said I will go to every elimination, knock out all the tough teams to make it the final. Exactly. How can you do that when you're sitting your ass every week at the condo and just coasting your way to the finale. He said, you say one thing, but you're doing something else. He said, it's just classic Tobo. Every season you're on, you keep saying how you want to go in every elimination, knock out all the teams, make yourself feel good, make yourself feel like you're unstoppable. He said, you talk a lot of shit, but you don't back it up ever. And Tobo was getting mad, right? And he was getting ready to come off the stage, get right into Phil's face. And Phil said, so tell you what. He said, next week, I know me and Dia's going to get voted in. Yet again in elimination. So I'll tell you what, we won't even try to win next week's challenge. He said, I will purposely lose the challenge next week, go in elimination. He tells the rest of the team, and do me a favor, vote his ass in. I'll send his ass home. He said, I'm sick and tired of him talking about how he's going to be the great challenge champion season 41, how he's going to knock off all the greats like CT, Derek, Leroy, Vanessa, Olivia. And yet, you even stepped foot into this elimination, he said. You just been coasting along. Yeah, you win some challenges. Congratulations. But if you really want to back your word up, he said, step your ass down the arena next week, and I'll beat your ass, send you home. And Tobo's like, you want me next week? He said, yeah. And then Tobo, that's how it ends. You don't know what Theo says after Tobo says, you want me next week? Man, I love Theo for calling out Tobo on that. Guys, that's like classic Tobo throughout the years. He always says how he wants to go in eliminations, week after week, send home the people, because he feels that's the way to get people home, eliminated in an easier finale. But he always just coasts along to the finale by playing politics with the other team alliances that benefit him the most. Like he played two alliances, screw over one, because the other one benefits him the most. When the finale comes, he will win it because the people that's left, he, scared of them. And he outperforms them. But if you really want to say you're going to want to go in elimination every week and that, back up your words, what Theo's saying. And I love Theo giving the Anonymous Alliance Tobo City the old double finger salute. That was awesome. They didn't even beep it out. Like, he just flipped them the bird. And they were just like, what the hell, right? And Olivia and the other UK Alliance is laughing. But, speaking of the UK Alliance, Leroy, man, you're a part of the UK Alliance, and then you do your team dirty like that by telling Theo and Dia not to worry about it's going to be Vanessa and Jake. You can't trust Leroy now. So the UK Alliance is down to 4 members because Leo and his partner basically betrayed them last night. And then off camera and show Leroy why he didn't say Vanessa's names, because him and Vanessa's never won a challenge. They've both been in the finale. Like he's now been in 6 finales, never won one. She's never won one. She's been in finales a lot too. So they made a pact when they first came here that they would not say the other person's name into elimination. And he's staying true to that. So now the UK Alliance has 6 members, got screwed out by 2 of their team that went to Nanya's Alliance. Theo has called out Tobo to go into his face him in elimination. What's the Dia think about that? Because she's Theo's partner, right? And Sydney's not going to like the fact that Tobo's might step up and accept the challenge and go into elimination. And that. And then TJ announced that he said, just, add a little more pressure to the game. It's now time to tell you how much you're fighting for. He said, first team to win gets $500,000. Second team to win gets $100,000. Third team to win gets like $75,000, something like that. He said, between now and then, it might go up, might go down. And he said, but he also said now, from previous challenges where there's been teams, he said, when your team makes it to the final, he said, if your team makes the first place, you win $500,000. You get to decide between the both of you if you would keep the money and split it, that's $250,000 each, or will you take the whole money yourself? And they've done that before. Like, Johnny Bananas did that to a person where he won it with the person and took the whole $500,000 for himself. Laurel, who's not on this season, she did the exact same thing with Carla Maria. They made it to the finals for $400,000, and she decided to take all of it. And Carla Maria got mad, and there's a way they do that, like voting whatever beforehand. Back then it was like whoever got the finish line first for the team, right, gets the first say. CT, he decided to split the money when his team did that. A lot of teams, when they win it, they just split the money. They don't have to try to steal all of it. So I'm wondering, like, is this season, whoever wins the $500,000, are they going to actually give their partner half of it, or are they going to take it for themselves, right? And Tobal, I hope you do back up your words, man. I hope you go in elimination against Phil next week. If Phil send him home, Tobal's got to go eventually. If you don't get him out soon, when you get to the finale, you got to deal with him. He is fast as hell, that guy. Stay safe, everybody. Too sweet. Bye.